March 21st, 2015. This is going to be a little bit hard because I have something here that I want to read to you, but there is a person quoted in it who is quoting another situation that I can't talk about. So I'm going to have to be kind of obscure, but I think you'll still get the idea. So it says, Bengali is our last circus tiger. He's 20 years old now and has been with us since the year 2000. So this was somebody writing to Howie who says, Howard, great article referring to Bloomberg's covering of Feld's announcement to phase out elephants in the circus by 2018. And I believe there is a mood shift going on. When we were at the Pause conference, we had a lengthy conversation with Manny Ortega, the producer of Blackfish, and kidded about the idea of doing Blackfish for Ringling. HSUS and others had to pay $15 million to Feld, and Manny was going to call him up and congratulate him on the success of his lawsuit and ask him for an interview. Don't know if he actually did, but this person that I don't know if I should name suggested we call the Ringling documentary Blackfeld. Times are a-changing, and I am in danger of believing in advocacy now. Howie responded so eloquently that I wanted to preserve it here. He said, think about other mood shifts, or perhaps more accurately, evolution in societal values. Civil rights, gay rights, marijuana use, dogfighting. If you were to graph the number of people who adopted the changed belief, I think in most cases you would see a long line that grew painfully slowly over decades, and then see a tipping point where it begins to accelerate. Perhaps not technically exponentially, but at an accelerating rate. Carole and I were struck by something 3 years ago. We have attended every TAFA, that's Taking Action for Animals. We have attended every TAFA conference. The first was in 2005, and we laugh at how naive we were as we struggled to learn about legislation from zero knowledge. Year after year, the senior folks at HSUS would give a talk that was like trying to pump up the troops at the Alamo. Tough year, lots of disappointment, but some victories we need to celebrate and press on because we will prevail. Then, in 2012, the big plenary speech had a totally different tone. It was like, this is Howie's language, holy shit, do you believe how many laws we got passed this year? It was something like 200 laws, as I recall, when they added up state, local, and federal. We really feel we are in the beginning of the accelerating years, and it will not be that many more years until people look back at tigers in the circus and tigers owned by private individuals and think about the way that we think about women's suffrage or slavery. We get visitors from England and other countries who already think that way. They are stunned at private ownership. And the list of countries banning big cats in the circus is steadily growing. One of the best examples is what Feld pointed to, the increasing number of local ordinances banning the circus or bullhooks. See the attached list. Laurie Gage has repeatedly said to me that what we need to stop the cub petting is a tiger version of Blackfish. I love the name Blackfeld. I don't know if blank and blank have the capacity to do something like that, but if you get the opportunity to follow up with Manny, I would urge you to encourage it. We have built our cash back up after our purchases of real estate, and barring some unforeseen event or turn in the economy, I expect 2015 to be another good year, in part due to a bequest that has $300,000 scheduled for 2015. This year, we have less planned in the way of capital expenditures, unless the last parcel of contiguous land becomes available, so I expect to add more to reserves. I am not sure how much funding it takes to create a Blackfeld, but we would consider investing, preferably anonymously, since we still have a certain tiger. I would love to have Manny come and visit and talk to us. Signed, Carole Baskin. And then this was the list of local jurisdictions that banned circuses in the U.S. In California, Corona bans wild or exotic animal displays. Encinitas bans wild or exotic animal displays. Huntington Beach bans the display of exotic animals. Marin County regulates animal acts. Newport Beach, proclamation from the mayor that the city will not display wild or exotic animals for entertainment. Pasadena bans the display of wild or exotic animals and rodeos on city property, restricts the display of domestic animals. Rohnert Park bans wild or exotic animal displays. Santa Ana bans wild or exotic animal displays. In Colorado, Boulder bans the display of exotic animals. In Connecticut, Stamford bans carnival, circuses, and Wild West shows. Florida, in Hollywood, bans animal displays. Lauderdale Lakes bans exhibition of wild and exotic animals. Pompano Beach bans animals on display on city property, except for educational purposes, and regulates the display of animals on private property. In Idaho, the Ketchum City Council bans the use of traveling, non-domestic, and exotic animals from performing. In Indiana, St. John's bans the performing animal exhibitions. In Maryland, Tacoma Park bans animal displays. In Massachusetts, Braintree town meeting members voted not to allow displays of non-domesticated animals for entertainment. Provincetown bans the display of wild animals for entertainment. Quincy bans the use of wild animals in circuses, carnivals, and competitive events. Revere bans the display of wild animals for entertainment. Somerville bans the display of exotic animals in circuses, carnivals, or any other public spectacle. Weymouth bans circuses with animal acts. Missouri, Richmond bans wild or exotic animal displays. New York, Greensboro bans wild or exotic animals from circuses, prohibits all rodeos on town property, bans exotic and wild animal species from parades, carnivals, races, rides, public shows, trade shows, photo opportunities, or similar undertakings in which the animals perform tricks, fight, or participate in performances for amusement. Southampton bans wild or exotic animal displays. North Carolina, Chapel Hill prohibits the display of wild and exotic animals. Orange County bans the display of wild and exotic animals. Vermont, Burlington bans the display of wild or exotic animals. Washington, Redmond bans wild or exotic animal displays. And Port Townsend bans the display of wild or exotic animals. So that was what was going on in 2015. And since then, a lot of states have banned such performances. So it's just, we're getting so much closer every single day.